Hello and welcome to a very special episode of ADH Tea, a podcast with me, Sarah Griffiths, Sweetie Mama, intuitive empowerment coach, writer, author and disabled mum of 3, and
me, Donna, the tea sorcerer of Unravel Tea and Technicolor Swan. Still not convinced, but okay. This episode, I maybe lulled you into a false sense of security that Sarah was still here to keep me under control, but she's not. So Sarah has actually had no power for a considerable amount of time now after the storms, which has meant that we have not been able to record. So what I have done is I have pulled some voice notes from some of my conversations with her before we even started the podcast. So these are actually pre-podcast, pondering about podcast ramblings. So enjoy. There will not be any what's in your mind today. What's on my mind is trying to get a podcast together by myself. And what's on Sarah's mind is probably getting heating because, yeah, that does not sound like fun. So, enjoy. Just a quick note that the sound quality in this is not the best. These are pulled from voice notes. So, yeah, there are quite a bit of background. There is quite a bit of background noise. So apologies on that.
Hello. So I digested it a bit more. In fact, had some interesting conversation. I need a wee bit of a background here. So I have a very close friend in Germany, and I have always admired her. She is very, very unshakable who she is. She is she knows who she is, and there's no doubt, and that's so awesome. And I have always admired that about her. Okay, but I've kind of always thought I can't do that because she is nothing like me. She's very, very logical. She's very pragmatic. She's very, I don't even know how to describe her, but she's kind of she's not like the anti-me, but she can be quite blunt as well, but it's never in a nasty way. I actually think that's partially because of, and it's a cultural thing as well. But she's awesome. I've known her for years, and yeah, it's she also really likes tea, and yeah, anyway. But I've always seen myself as completely opposite to her. There's nothing how can I do that, essentially, right? My brain's ADHD, and she's self-diagnosed. She thinks she's ASD. So yeah, our brains work completely differently, but it's actually really awesome because I can take something to her and she'll be like, oh yeah, look at this thing. And I'm like, I didn't even see it like that before. Absolutely not. I would have never looked at it that way. So it's really nice that I can, I have somebody who sees things completely different way to me. And also she's one of the people who, I can say whatever to, and I know she's not going to judge me, and it's great because I don't filter things.
Here I am speaking about another friend of mine. We will call her Tanya. Tanya is not her real name.
Her brain works quite a lot like mine. In fact, I think she's got ADHD. I kind of hinted that to her, but I didn't say, hey, I think you've got ADHD, but I don't think she'd have cared. Anyway, I had a very interesting conversation with her. So again, you'll need a wee bit of background about me as well. So I've always said that I don't regret anything because I don't see the point in it. You can't go back and change things. It's a waste of energy and it's a waste of brain space because I have so much other stuff happening in my head. Why add something in that I can't change anyway, right? And I've always said that, and I've said it for many, many, many years, probably since I was about 14 or something like that. So I've had that, and things, things that I can't change in that way of going back haven't really fazed me, if that makes sense. This is relevant. So she was talking in a very similar way to how she accepts things as to how I just accept things and I don't regret things. So she is absolutely unshakable in her knowledge of who she is, and and what she likes and what she doesn't like. And she literally is very much like Mara, my German friend, like literally doesn't, other people's opinions don't factor into what she would like to do, which is amazing. Like this is something that I've always admired a lot in people. Like people are able to actually have a clear vision of what they want without having to take anybody else's into consideration. Now, this is not a mean thing, it's just like, you, essentially. So I don't even know how we got onto the topic, but I kind of asked her how she does that, and like, I know what it was, because I was talking about like brain spiraling and things like that. So, if something happens and it makes me doubt myself and then I beat myself up, blah, 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 blah. It's a spiral, and it can get out of control. I can recognize it now, and I'm mostly able to make sure that it doesn't get out of control, but it is a thing that happens in my brain. And she's like, but I think she didn't not understand, because she actually came along with a lot of understanding, a lot of empathy. This is another reason she's just an amazing human being. And she was like, well, why are you like bothered about something you can't change? Again, that's echoed in my, why am I wasting energy on things to regret because I can't change things, right? So there's all this sort of mirroring within my thought processes with that and the way that she thinks about herself. And she's like, there's no point in worrying because it just is. You are who you are. You can't change that. So why worry about it? Kind of, I am very much paraphrasing. But I think it is the only time, like I want to say like she's pure in a way that she's not had to work to get to that level of self-acceptance, which is pretty unusual, I would say. But I think my German friend Mara, she's the same. She's not had to work to get to that because she just accepts it. And looking at other people like you, right? I feel that you've had to work on that. I might be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm jumping to conclusions. And actually looking at other people who I admire, that is a massive, let's go with point just now, a massive point that I admire in people. Quality, that's the word. I think that's the word I'm looking. And yeah, it's just, it was a little bit mind-blowing because I think because she was echoing, like saying very similar things, like echoing even my language that I've used with people before when I talk about regrets and how I don't have them. I was like, actually, maybe this is attainable, that I could get to that stage with my own self-acceptance, because that's a mega thing that's holding me back. Because I end up down in like a spiral of self-hatred, which is not super fun. Yeah, so I don't know, it's just really interesting. Really, really interesting, because that is definitely a quality that I see in you as well. But again, yeah, it's different. Obviously, it's different in different people. Thinking about it, as I said, I think I'm still digesting a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to put it to you so that I don't forget to, because I just keep it all in my head. It's incredible. I love the fact that you also stand up and you're silly. You're like, I don't know why I deserve these accolades. And it's like, Sarah, you bloody well do. Just shut up. Just accept it. But it's not easy. I know that somebody saying that to you is not going to make that sink in. That's never, until you accept it yourself, that's never going to not be part of you. I'm having trouble with words today. I'm hoping you're just going to understand what I'm saying, because you seem to be able to understand my brain. So that's good. We'll just leave it at that. You know what I'm trying to say. Cool. Yeah, it's a really interesting topic, and I actually wonder if we could use this for a podcast thing as well. Yeah, it could be really interesting. I'm going to leave it at that just now. Please throw me your thoughts, because I would be very interested to hear what you think. And yeah, okay, right, I'm going to go now because this is 10 minutes long. Welcome to your Donna podcast. Okay, bye-bye, bye-bye.
My God, I'm just thinking, wouldn't this be a really fun thing to put out? Well, I suppose we couldn't really do it, but wouldn't it be really cool to put out some of our like random voice notes back and forward to each other as promotion for the podcast? Like, because we literally do just brain dump on each other in the nicest, best, most awesome way. But yeah, I think it would be really interesting. Yes, there's so much came up when I was listening to you there. all extremely valid and I think would be extremely good content for the podcast. But what my thoughts on it, you're 100% right. 100% right. So you're a lot more intuitive than you probably give yourself credit for. But yes, I did not get to this point without a lot of work. So it's not, the acceptance was so hard. And that's, I mean, I've written about it in the transcript for my book. I've done like it, the resistance of who I was and the way the world is what caused me years and years and years of chronic pain, depression, all the horrible things. So you're 100% bang on with that assumption. And I don't think it was an assumption. I think you just know me well enough to know that I haven't just dropped to earth. The person I am now, it's a long, and it's still evolving. So I'm nowhere near the finished article yet, but as I always say, I don't want to be, because I believe that when we become the fully enlightened, rounded, balanced human beings that we can be, then we don't need to be here anymore and our life ends. So I'm more than happy to continue evolving for decades and decades and decades to come. But I think in terms of the whole other people's opinions and the spiral of self-hatred and everything, I get it. 100%. I do get it. And I think it's I don't know if it's an ADHD trait. It probably is, to be honest. In fact, I'm pretty sure the more I think about it, it is a thing of, the negative self-talk and the thing. It's like your average person, or your non-ADHD person, has this negative chatter that goes on in their brain. But I think with our brains, I'm going to say our brains, I know I don't have a diagnosis, but we're pretty sure that we're the same. So it's like the negative chatter has a loud hailer and like HD surround sound, like megaphone kind of level of volume here. So it's like there's no just getting away from it or saying shush, because it doesn't. And actually, I'm going to go a step further. I can't say I'm speaking personally here, but even when I'm doing great things and my life is going good, the spicy monkey is in the background still whispering, so it never disappears completely. It's just the level of volume at which it's allowed, or how the position in the stage of my life that it's allowed to take. So if it's center stage, it's like loud, booming, overtaking everything. That's where the paralysis comes in. And then on a good day, it's like whispering in the corner of the stage, kind of thing. Like just, So that's probably the way I would describe it. In terms of other people's opinions and taking other people's opinions into account or not, that has definitely been the evolution for me. That has been what I've worked on mostly. And I'm going to be honest and say that Danny is the person who has really helped me with that the most, because he is more like what you described your other friends to be, like more like I just doesn't even factor, doesn't even, I just do what I'm gonna do. I do what I want to do, and I don't really care what anybody thinks of me. Like, and it's not even like he's saying that he doesn't care. He genuinely does not care. The only people's opinions that he cares about, I would say, is mine. And even then, if mine is completely out of alignment with him and what he wants to do, he'll do it anyway. So it's like both of us are pretty much on the same page in terms of what we want from life. So therefore, he will use me as a point of reference. But if there's something that he wants or needs to do that is completely opposed to who I am or what I would want to do, then he just does it. And there's no and it's like you're either okay with this or you're not, but I'm doing it anyway. So, and I totally admire that. I do think what you said, like the ASD, I have my suspicions that's present. We've never needed, I guess, to go down the road of any kind of formalization of that, but I'm pretty sure the more I learn about myself and him, the more I'm pretty certain that it is. So I wonder if the pragmatism is a function of that, whereas the paralysis and the negativity and the self-doubt and all of that is more present in ADHD, potentially. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not a doctor, so I can't say, but that's my personal lived experience of the whole thing. But for me, in terms of where I've gotten to now, I have realised over time that me prioritising other people's well-being, other people's desires, and other people, like me wanting to please, like this perpetual people pleasing in order to validate myself through other people's approval, has only led to heartbreak, heartache, disappointment, betrayal, and absolute exhaustion, physically, mentally, financially, every way that you can imagine. So I've realised that and actually the people who I've invested most in all those ways are the people who've kicked me in the teeth the fastest, and they are never there when I need them or want them to be there. They are never there for me. So me in this tireless pursuit of approval through other people, and loving on people and giving them all of my time, energy and presence and resources and all the things, it's just actually led to the betrayal even faster. So I have realised that I need to be a lot more conscious about who and what I give my time to. And I mean, I can count on one hand and have fingers to spare the people in my life who haven't betrayed me or let me down in one way or another, or disappointed me, or promised me the sun, the moon, and the stars, and then nothing. So I realised that, it's seeking other people's approval gets me nowhere fast. So therefore, I need to prioritise my own wellness, my own desires for myself, and actually not look to other people to make me happy, because the only way that I will be happy is if I'm fully living my own life to the fullest. And that, I suppose, I have the added, well, no, I don't want to say added complication, because it's just a different version. Like, it's just, I mean, my brain probably takes more energy than my body, to be honest. So I don't want to say added as in is more than you have, because it's not. I don't think it's not a competition. But me having a very physical representation of my limited energy means that I have to, like, the whole spoons thing. I don't know. Did you talk about the spoons with me before? Or did somebody, there was somebody recently, I don't know, I feel like it was you, but maybe it wasn't, describing the whole spoons thing, because I never really fully understood the spoony thing and having limited number of spoons. But when I heard it explained, I was like, wow, yes, yes, that is definitely a thing. And because I am very, very aware of the number of spoons I have now, and also the stage in my life that I'm at, I don't have infinite years left. I mean, I hope I have at least another 50, at least 60 I'm plumping for, but who knows. Um, I'm still potentially halfway through my life at this point, so I don't have infinite years. I don't have infinite energy and spoons, so I have to be really conscious with what I do. And like you said, I don't tend to regret things at all, because the things that I've done, even the things that people would label or frame as mistakes, I don't see them as mistakes, because they've either gotten me to closer to who I am today, and closer to the person that I want to be, or I have grown and learned that that is not for me, so to avoid that in the future. And how do you know what is and is not for you unless you experience everything? So I don't believe in mistakes, I don't believe in regrets, because like you say, you cannot change them. But that being said, it's taken me till now to get to that point. It's at least, I would say it's only in the last 10 years that I've really kind of said there's no such thing as regret, there's no such thing as mistakes. Literally, I've only been saying that like I was 30 plus before I realised that, and before that became the truth for me. So, yeah, I don't really know if there's anything more I need to add, but I don't waste time on what has gone by. I'm grateful for every experience, because it has literally either shown me what is not for me and taught me who I really am, or it has gotten me a step closer to where I want to be. So yeah, but I mean, the times when the best things in my life have happened or when I turned my back on what other people told me or wanted for me, namely my kids, my marriage, all of those things. Like I had at every stage in that, when I was getting married, when I was getting, pregnant and all that, I had people, well-meaning people, no harm to them, like they had the best of intentions, but they were saying to me, this is not a good move for you right now. But I knew in my heart that it was who I wanted to be in the life I wanted to build for myself. So I went ahead and did it anyway, even though they told me not to. And not for 1 second have I felt, oh, this was the wrong move. Not for 1 second. I know this is who I'm supposed to be. And yeah, so I don't know if that's any relevance to anything you've just said. I feel like it is, but maybe not. But yeah, for sure, we can have a conversation about this for the podcast or whatever, because yeah, it's a big topic, and it is. I don't know. I want to say, sort of thinking like the people who have this built in as part of their already mental wiring versus somebody who gets to that point. What is the difference? What is it? I guess the difference would be having that chatter in the background still, but then it's a skill. I think it's a skill and it's an art to be able to navigate having that background chatter, but not allowing it to derail your life. Whereas if you, and actually, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is truly unshakable, because you still have that soundtrack of negativity. Whereas if you don't have it at all, then are you really unshakable? Because how do you know if you're unshakable if you've got nothing that can potentially shake you, you know? So it's an interesting topic, and thank you for bringing it, because it's not everybody you can have these conversations with. So I really value, and I love that we can have these conversations, and on the rare occasions that we disagree, which I actually don't know if we've ever truly disagreed, but I know we can do so respectfully and still value each other's point of view. So that's really, really precious to me, and thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this week's strange episode of ADHD the podcast. You can find us, or actually just me just now, I am flying solo, across ADHD the podcast on Threads. I do occasionally check Instagram, but I'm not very active there. Threads is so much fun. You can also find me across all Unravel Tea socials, and you can discover Sarah across on It's Wheelie Mama or Wheelie Mama. All the links will be in the show notes as usual. I cannot guarantee there will be a podcast next week. I might end up taking a week off. Hopefully everything will be back to normal after that. But thank you so much for listening through, considering the audio quality is pretty shocking. So yes, thank you, and hopefully we will be back as usual next week. Thank you. Bye.